Talking trash. The elder chorus weighs in. Everything we saw, heard, and had no business knowing. A ratchet synopsis as told from the porch. The porch. Same heat. Same chairs. Same solo cup in Sister Shirley Ann's hand. Nobody asking, nobody answering. Cousin Ruby has pulled her folding chair close enough that she is practically in Mama Greer's lap. The women have been out here since the mail ran. Nobody has moved. Nobody plans to. Part 1. She moved in talking. Mama E. Now, I want to start from the beginning so Ruby has the full picture. Cousin Ruby, please. Because every time somebody calls me with an update, they start from the middle. Mama Greer, all right. So, Army wife Sharelle Cox moves into Northgate Manor with her 2 boys, Kyle and Tyler, while her husband Lamont finishes his tour with the Marines and their house in Welford gets built. Cousin Ruby. That part sounds perfectly reasonable. Auntie Me. Holding up one finger. That part. Yes. Reasonable. Mother Mary. The Lord provided her a roof. She should have been grateful and quiet. Sister Shirley Ann. She was neither. Sips. Mama Greer. This woman had not gotten her key good in the lock before she was in the property management office running her mouth. Zovia, who is the head manager, sharp as a tack, invited Sharelle to lunch. Being neighborly. Being kind. Mama E. And before they even got to the parking lot, Auntie Me, before her behind hit the seat of that Chevy Equinox. Mama Greer. Sharelle was already hollering about Ticey and that no-good Johnny. Cousin Ruby, at lunch? Mother Mary at pre-lunch. They hadn't even left the building. Sister Shirley Ann. Chilly, she was serving gossip like an appetizer before anybody ordered. Sips. Auntie M, mimicking a peppy voice. If I didn't pay today I'd be in here crying like that Ticey was doing the other day. If she stopped letting that Johnny come live off her she'd do a lot better. Cousin Ruby. She said all of that? Mama Greer said it cackling. Like it was funny. To 3 women she had known for approximately 11 minutes. Mama E. Zovia looked at her right then and knew exactly what kind of woman had moved into Northgate Manor. Mother Mary, discernment. That is a gift. Sister Shirley Ann. Discernment nothing. The woman announced herself. Sips. Gold rule divider, murmuring and ice rattling. Part 2. Ticey, Johnny, and the restitution tab. Cousin Ruby. Now who is Ticey? Mama Greer. Ticey is a young tenant whose entire situation is a cautionary tale set to a trap beat. Auntie Me. She got a man named Johnny living up in her apartment. No job, no prospects, no shame. Mama Greer. Fresh out the penitentiary. Auntie Me. Living off her welfare benefits and making her pay his restitution every single month. Cousin Ruby. Her welfare check going to pay his restitution? Mama E. Every month. Like clockwork. Sister Shirley Ann. And threatening to leave if she doesn't. Long pause. Leave Johnny. Please. Do us all a favor. Sips. Mother Mary. The audacity of a man with restitution payments making ultimatums. Mama Greer. And it gets worse, Ruby. Johnny has 3 children with his ex-wife. Ticey left her own children with that same ex-wife. The ex-wife just kept them, bless her heart, because somebody had to. Cousin Ruby. Ticey left her children with her man's ex-wife. Mama Greer. And moved Johnny into her apartment. Cousin Ruby. Sitting back slowly, Lord. Auntie Emma and Johnny, not satisfied with this arrangement, was standing in that doorway hollering at Ticey while she was on the floor holding onto his sleeve begging him not to go. Mama E. Jeslyn saw the whole thing walking in from the parking lot. Mother Mary. On the floor, baby. The floor. Sister Shirley Ann. I have been on some floors in my life. Thoughtful pause. That ain't one I would have chosen. Sips. Gold rule divider. Part 3. Jeslyn's situation, the unabridged edition. Mama E. Now, Jeslyn. Cousin Ruby. Already leaning forward. Yes. Tell me about Jeslyn. Mama Greer. Jeslyn is the assistant property manager. Smart girl. Good at her job. Mr. Brown, the complex owner, hired her knowing her full history and trusted her with the position. Auntie M. But Sharelle got a hold of that history and dragged it through every corner of Northgate like she was mopping a floor with it. Cousin Ruby. What is the history, Mama E? Jeslyn was 23. She got involved with a boy who was 17. Now before you say anything, Mama Greer. He played her with the precision of a grown man, Ruby. And a grown man, Mama E. He pursued her. He was willing. And when it suited him and his people, they called the law, got a restraining order, had her arrested, and put her on the sex offender registry. Silence. Cousin Ruby. Quietly, that is a lot to carry. Mother Mary, it is. And she carries it. And she works. And Mr. Brown saw fit to give her a chance. And that ought to be where the story ends. Mama Greer. But Sharelle decided the story needed a sequel, a director's cut, and a special edition with bonus commentary. Auntie Emmy called her a deadbeat mother and a pedophile, got the facts wrong on both counts, and said the boy was still attending Comic-Con conventions. Cousin Ruby. She brought up the Comic-Con again? Sister Shirley Ann. That detail lives rent-free in Sharelle's mouth. Sips. Mama Greer. And here's the part that makes my blood pressure speak to me. Jeslyn found out through her girls Tashi and Veronica what Sharelle had been saying, and she chose to let it ride. One time, Mama E. She did not want Sharelle to know her sources had reported back. Mother Mary, wisdom, patience, strategy. Sister Shirley Ann. I call it the calm before the whooping. Sips. Auntie Emma, she said, and I want the record to reflect this. If she does it again, I'm gonna walk a damn dog on her poser ass. Cousin Ruby. Nodding slowly, I believe her. Gold Rule Divider. Part 4. Now about that morning Jeslyn was late. Mama Greer. Lowering her voice in a way that means everybody leans in now. This next part. Cousin Ruby. What next part? Auntie Emmy. The reason Jeslyn was an hour late to work that particular morning. Mother Mary. Lord give me strength before I tell this. Mama E. Jeslyn, the same Jeslyn with a restraining order preventing her from contact with AJ, the boy's father, had gotten up that morning and gone to meet AJ. For a quickie. Cousin Ruby. She went to see the same boy whose family had her arrested. Mama Greer. Whose family still has an active restraining order. Auntie Emmy. And came to work an hour late behind it. Sister Shirley Ann. Without judgment, just facts. Some situations you know are wrong and go anyway. I understand this completely. Sips. Mama E. And AJ has been telling her that once he turns 21 he'll make things right. They can be a family. Him, her, and little Ammon. Mama Greer. The same AJ who got engaged to a classmate named Stassi right after graduation. Cousin Ruby. He got engaged? And him engaged. Then broke it off. And crawled right back to Jeslyn talking about Stassi made him do it. Stassi told his parents to press charges. It was all Stassi's fault. Mother Mary. Shaking her head slowly. A boy who points his finger everywhere but at himself will never grow into a man. Mama Greer. And Jeslyn is out here meeting him in the morning for quickies and calling it love. Sister Shirley Ann, honey. The quickie and the love are two separate line items. Somebody needs to show her the budget. Sips. Gold Rule Divider. Part 5. Sharelle's nerve, Nikki Lisa's patience, and the truth about the hater. Cousin Ruby. So what does Sharelle have against Nikki Lisa? Mama E. That is what Nikki Lisa is still working out herself. But here is what she has figured out. Sharelle came in talking about Jeslyn's business to a woman who already knew every bit of it. And Nikki Lisa sat there with the straightest face you have ever seen and let her talk. Mama Greer. Because Nikki Lisa wanted to hear the extended, overseasoned, dramatic version Sharelle's mouth was about to serve. Auntie Emmy. And while she was listening, really listening, she figured out what nobody else had said out loud yet. Cousin Ruby. Which is? Mama E. The woman who has the most to say about everybody else's man is usually the woman whose own man's situation is a dumpster fire. Mother Mary. Nodding, the loudest testimony is usually the biggest cover-up. Mama Greer. Sharelle claims to be the devoted army wife waiting faithfully for Lamont. But something is off. Nikki Lisa can feel it. And Nikki Lisa has 3 biological sisters and a whole army of sisters. She knows the energy of a woman running from something before the woman even sits down. Sister Shirley Ann. Guilty people talk the most about other people's guilt. That is just science. Sips. Cousin Ruby, so you think Sharelle is? Mama Greer. We think Sharelle has a story she has not told yet. And a mouth she cannot keep closed. And those two things together. Pauses. That is not going to end quietly. Auntie Emma. It is going to be the loudest thing Northgate Manor has ever heard. Gold Rule Divider. Part 6. The Golden Girls, The Pillow, and George Preston's Choices. Cousin Ruby. Now wait, what about those three older ladies? Miss Diane, Miss Yvonne, and Mama Maggie? Annie. Sitting up straight. Oh, we saving the best for last. Mama E. Ruby, those three women have been at Northgate since the early 70s. They have seen everything. They are the porch. Mama Greer. Miss Yvonne married a man named George Preston after her first marriage. Cousin Ruby and Mama Greer. George Preston was buying sex from men. With Yvonne's money. Cousin Ruby. Pause with her. Annie, her money. Her money, Ruby. Mother Mary, he apologized. Promised to do right. Did not do right. Mama Greer, and then George died. In bed. Yvonne told the paramedic she got up to use the bathroom and found him unresponsive. Ruled natural causes. A long silence settles over the porch. Cousin Ruby. Very carefully. And what do people say? Sister Shirley Ann. Evenly staring straight ahead. They say she smothered him with a pillow. No evidence. No charges. George is gone. Yvonne is on the porch every morning. Takes a long slow sip. I am not saying a word either way. Mother Mary. Neither am I. Pause. But I will say the Lord works in ways that are not always for us to understand. Auntie Emma E. And Mama Maggie's husband Robert died in prison for killing a man who stole his money at a poker game. Cousin Ruby. At the Sugar Shack? Mama Greer, at the Sugar Shack. Cousin Ruby. Looking at all of them. These three ladies sit on that porch every day and wave at people. Mama E. Quietly every single day. Cousin Ruby, just waving. Sister Shirley Ann. Just waving. Sips, don't wave back too hard. Gold Rule Divider. Part 7. The fight. Mama Greer now. The main event. Cousin Ruby. There was a fight? Annie Ticey came out of that apartment hot. Walked right up on Jeslyn in the parking lot hollering about her business being told all over Northgate. Mama E. Accused Jeslyn of spreading the word about the rent extension and Johnny taking her check. Mama Greer, Jeslyn, who was already an hour late and had already had a full morning, told her to get the bass out of her voice. Auntie, grinning, said, "Get that bass out your voice like you Melvin Franklin harmonizing with the Temptations." Cousin Ruby. Howling, she did not. Mama Greer, she did. And Ticey came back with, "At least he isn't a sex offender." Meaning Johnny. Mother Mary. Lord have mercy. Mama E. And Jeslyn said, "And she was not wrong." How do you know that? His wife kicked him out before he could do anything to your kids that she now has custody of. Cousin Ruby. She read her with her own children. Mama Greer. And then Ticey called her a deadbeat mama. Silence. Auntie. And Jeslyn lunged on that girl like it was Super Bowl Sunday. Cousin Ruby. Eyes wide. In the parking lot? Mama Greer. In the parking lot. Zovia and Nikki Lisa had just pulled up and had to drag Jeslyn off of her. Ticey tasted blood. Mother Mary. Eyes closed, Father God. Sister Shirley Ann. I am not condoning violence. Pause, but I understand the math. Sips. Mama E. And in the middle of all of this, Ticey standing there bleeding, asking who told her business. Nobody in that office did it. The only person who had Ticey's full story told wrong. Announced at a lunch table she had not even been invited to. Altogether Sharelle. The porch goes still. Cousin Ruby. Slowly. So Sharelle's mouth started a fight she wasn't even present for. Mama Greer. That is the gift of a true gossip, baby. The damage works on its own schedule. Mother Mary. The tongue is afire. Sister Shirley Ann. And Northgate Manor is about to burn. Finishes her cup. Somebody want to get me a refill? Gold Rule Divider. The heat settles back over the porch, thick and patient. Mama E. To Cousin Ruby. You still think you only came for 5 days? Cousin Ruby. Staring out at the parking lot. I might need to call and extend my ticket. Any mum. Mama Greer. Because Sharelle's mouth is still running. Mother Mary. And the truth about Sharel is still coming. Sista Shirley ANN. And when it gets here, slow smile. It is going to be the loudest thing Northgate Manor has ever heard. Talking trash, because in Northgate Manor, the mess you make always finds its way back to your front door. EmmaParaLeeInc, where the streets tell their own truth. SamCoOakFan68@gmail.com, KennedyLovesSam@yahoo.com.